Hello, everybody. Today we have a special guest all the way from Italy. This is Domenico, lead engineer from SIM2. Proud to have him with us.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be back.
Domenico, say hello.
Hello to everybody. I'm Domenico Toffoli, and I'm the head engineering of SIM2. I'm working SIM2 since 30 years. SIM2 is from Celico. Celico was the bigger company in Europe producing TV sets, color TV sets. And so I started there to design projectors.
I remember Celico. Did they have a 3-gun CRT
Yeah,
projector?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I started there, they were not producing at all projectors.
Mm.
So with a small group, we started to design projectors, and it was quite impressive, the result, and the company decided to make a spin-off. So we differentiate our company from Celico in 1995.
You started with CRT, 3-gun CRT, all the way up until today. And how many years did you say? 30 years?
30 years, because I have to say more than 30 years, because in reality, I started in 91. So 91 to today is 34 years. Yeah. But in SIM2, just 30 years, because SIM2 was founded in 1995. Yes. So I saw many things passing through the projection field, you know, from tubes, the LEDs, the LCDs, DMDs, lasers, depends, you know, modulators and light sources, different. Yeah. So it is a long story.
I remember when everything was analog, 3-gun CRT, when TI announced they were going to come out with the very first DLP projector, it was 480p, folding mirrors, and I couldn't grasp the concept. I didn't think it was going to look good, but I saw the very first DLP projector. I think it was made by Davis. Very simple design, and I have to admit, I was impressed. And it was only 480p, which is pretty low resolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So home cinema is a special ambient where to project. And we decided since the beginning to dedicate our efforts to that market.
I don't think people realize you don't just rebadge a projector. You go a step further and you completely redesign the projector. You shoot for the best color. You design your own lenses. You do everything. You completely redesign the projector, bring it to the next level, dedicated to home theater.
Exactly. So I made so many trips to Dallas. We propose different solutions, but before to apply a solution, we also ask the suggestions from Texas Instruments. So in reality, we cooperate since many years.
When you say you made many trips to Dallas, is TI in Dallas?
Yeah. In Dallas is yeah. We had fortunately a very good connection with Texas Instruments. But I have to just to say one little story about the 3 chip. You remember the first 3 chip from Texas Instruments?
I do.
Was very large, very bulky, very
heavy.
Very heavy. Yeah, exactly. So we made a lot of simulation in our optical CAD, and we went to Dallas saying, "Hey guys, we are able to do a 3-chip projector about 10 times smaller than yours." They said, "Well, 10 times? It is not possible." "Well, it is possible." So yes. So I said, if we are able to do that, you offer a dinner to me in the best restaurant in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so it was. So at
Was
the
this
end,
the folded light engine?
yes, yeah, with a folded path, light path, and it was very compact. And in reality, it was not 10 times smaller, but about 6 times.
That's
But
something to
with
be
a-
very proud of. And
Yeah.
that's your own design, SIM2, and that's
100%.
That's
Yeah.
exclusive to SIM2. Am I correct?
Yes, yes. Also, we made 2 patents
Okay.
on that design at that time. Yes.
A question for you. The current 4K chip, TI chip, DLP, I'm not aware of any 4K 3-chip home theater projectors. Is that something that we will see in the future?
The solution in case of 4K is expensive, and this is a problem of marketing. So the numbers are not so big, and it is not possible to return back from the investment.
So SIM2 has a brand new product. And once again, you've achieved a new level of performance.
The new projector is called Ultra Nero 4. So the new projector is laser based. But and nowadays we have to consider the HDR applications. HDR is a real revolution in video, because HDR permits a very huge dynamic, and I'm talking about brightness dynamic or luminosity dynamic in a picture. And it requires a very high brightness. So it is necessary to start with a very, very powerful light source. And today, this is permitted by lasers. But having a very powerful laser, it is necessary also to create good colors, because you can have RGB lasers, but today they are not ready for a reasonable solution for home theater. It is good for cinemas, but nowadays it's not still good, or not good yet for home applications. First of all, the stability of colors.
Okay.
First of all, yeah. And after that, the problem of the green, because the green nowadays is still not enough powerful. Yeah, blue is not a problem. Red, still not a problem, but green is still a problem,
Green with laser projectors always looks like a lime green to me. It's not a deep green
In fact,
like grass. It's got more yellow to it.
yeah, in fact, yeah, this is one of the problem, and also the color shift, because with temperature they drift the color. So you can have a perfect alignment, color alignment at a certain temperature, and after that you lose the alignment after a while. Okay.
So it's important to keep the lasers cooled.
Yeah, absolutely. This product, Ultra Nero 4, is made with blue laser, and having a lot of light produced by these lasers, we decided to use not a common phosphor wheel to produce red and green, yellow also. Okay. But we decided to use a ceramic phosphor wheel. So why a ceramic phosphor wheel is so better? Yeah, because it is capable to cool easily. Yeah, it is necessary to have a small airflow to cool the phosphor wheel. Ceramic is capable to take away the color, the heat produced by the phosphorus in the wheel. So the ceramic, it is not a support. We use an aluminum wheel, okay, and over this wheel, it is deposed the ceramic phosphor, okay. So it is possible to cool down the phosphors in order to have a stable emission of light during the time and also during the variations of temperature during the working time.
And you're using special phosphors, ceramic, to withstand the heat, and once again, to further reduce color drift.
The color drift, exactly. So the colors are very stable, okay? And selecting the right phosphors, we were capable to reach about the DCI colorimetry, P3, okay? So RGB DCI. And we in the range of not 100%, but close to 92%. And it is very good in my opinion. So,
well, to be able to claim 92% DCI color without having to drop an additional color filter in the light path where you lose light,
exactly.
I don't think anybody else has achieved that.
Yeah, because having the good colors, let me say, from the light source, it is not necessary to filter, like in the case of a UHP lamp, for example, losing light in order to get a DCI colorimetry, because you have the DCI colors from the source in that case. And this is the reason because we were able to reach around 7,000 lumens.
So other DLP guys, we won't have to mention their names, they're using in terms like extended black, real black technology, to get the deepest blacks on the screen at the same time as the brightest brights.
In this case, they can have a very black level, very low black, no? But, in order to have an HDR picture, a black level, it is not enough. It is necessary also to have the white level. Mm-hmm. In order to have a large dynamic of brightness, no? And so our choice, it is to avoid to have a extremely black level, but to keep still the white level. So our eyes understand the dynamic brightness because there is the high level, So this is what we choose. Of course, we have a very good optical path and very good lens in order to preserve as much as possible the optical contrast, But after that, we use a dynamic contrast, okay, in order that is adjustable in the level that you want, okay, in order to make a better black. So in this case, it is quite impressive, the result. Maybe Alan remember the application of the two projectors one upon the other, the so-called doppio.
The SIM2 duo.
The duo, exactly. That's right. Yeah, the principle is the same. So we double the light in the total light almost, but we preserve the black level because one of the projector was a very high contrast projector.
Yes.
In that case, the black level of that projector was much lower than the other one, and the black level was not double like the high level, So the extension of the dynamic was double. I mean, one stop more, one optical stop more.
That's pretty impressive. Roughly. So you've achieved basically the same dynamic range, expanded dynamic range that was in the SIM2 Duo, two projectors, and you've put all that into one chassis, one projector. We're seeing that same dynamic range.
Not exactly the same, but high in any case. Another thing that we made in the Ultra Nero is we take care of the quality of the projection lens. One of the problem in projection is to have a contemporary goodness of resolution, at the center, and resolution at the borders. Because sometimes people make a very good resolution in the center, but a lower in the borders in order to have, let me say, a trade-off between quality and price. What we did here is to preserve the quality in the center, also in the borders. I'm talking about the focus, a very, very perfect focus in all the field. And second, the lateral color. The lateral color, especially with lasers, it is very evident normally, because in case of laser, you have a RGB that can be seen separated, let me say, left and right, and top and bottom, and in the corners. What we made here is a almost perfect lens, in all the field. So lateral color is not visible here in the new product. And resolution is very, very good. I'm really satisfied about the resolution.
So you designed a brand new lens exclusive to this projector.
Not exactly brand new, but an adaptation of a previous one. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
And
nice.
you've improved the uniformity, center to edge, and you've
Yes.
improved the chroma aberration out to the edge.
Exactly. Yeah, the chroma or color aberration all over the field, and also the vignetting. Here there is no vignetting. I mean, if you measure between the difference between the center and the corner, you can find about less 5% in the corner, almost, roughly.
No vignetting.
No vignetting, no.
You know,
So
these are the things that your competition, the other DLP manufacturers, don't pay any attention to.
We decided to stay in this field of high-level home cinema. So we decided to preserve the quality of the picture. And one important element that makes the quality of the picture is the lens, the projection lens.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you didn't cut corners.
Yeah, and with this lens, it is possible to see if you go close, to see that you can see the pixels, the DMD pixels everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. That is very difficult to get.
With your phosphors, is green a better green? Is it more deep green than lime green? Were you able to
Absolutely.
improve on that? Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, we made several tentative to get that result, and at the end we get a trade-off between brightness and the color point, the green color point. Green, of course, it is the majority of the white light. Green is very important. If you lose green light, you lose the overall brightness of the projector. Is very important, much more than blue. You can get a lot of blue, much more than you need, and it is almost the same of red, but the green is very difficult.
I think most companies use a yellow green to get more light output.
Of course, yeah. No. This is not a green. This is not a yellow green. It is a real green. I mean, I'm talking about the green of DCI.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Joe, you and I are going to get to see a sample of this projector. I'm excited.
I'm very excited. And we do a lot of football here. So there's a lot of the people I come in contact with all over the forums, not soccer version football, but, American football. So we'll be taking a look at those greens for sure.
Another important thing in a home theater is the acoustic noise. Having choose ceramic phosphor wheel, we can refresh the ceramic phosphor wheel with a very low airflow. very low speed airflow. So it means that we can avoid to produce noise of air passing through slots, you know. So the projector at the end, it is very quiet, extremely quiet.
That's good
very
because
good.
ours is right above our head where we have ours mounted,
Yeah,
our projector.
yeah.
So that's nice.
It is extremely quiet, quite as you can imagine, as it is switched off. Very close to that.
This sounds like a very impressive projector.
At the end, it is a combination of different factors that make this projector quite, let me say, good for home theater. The brightness, reasonable contrast, still with a high brightness. So good HDR picture, good colorimetry, low noise. The optical lens, the projection lens is totally motorized, easy to maneuver, you know, up and down shifts are motorized, zoom focus.
Do you still have a dynamic iris?
It is inside the optical.
So just to clarify, you do have an iris.
It is inside the projection lens, but it is
Yes.
fixed in this
Yep.
case, yeah.
SIM2 has won a lot of awards over the years, and they just had a 30-year anniversary. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly, because the foundation was in 1995.
I just remember the Loomis and how impressive that was way back in the day. And I showed my wife your site and some of your older projectors, and she really loved the red colors. I was laughing at that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, the red colors.
I always felt that SIM2 was ahead of their time. You were always one step ahead of the competition. Speaking of HDR, we don't have a standard yet. Does that create a problem for you?
Exactly, or better. There is a standard in for flat screens. It is, yeah, absolutely. But there is no standard in projection.
Correct.
Yeah, because you know, you can have a projector with, for example, 7,000 lumen. Okay, but this flow of light, it is, let me say, it could be for a screen that is 1 square meter, 2 square meters, 10 square meters, 20 square meters, etc. So we have a certain flow of light that is going or in a very small surface or very large surface. So you have the peak white that is decreasing in case of large screens.
So how hard is it to implement into a projector the ability for those of us who love our 16:9 screens? We're not in this scope. A lot of us love 16:9 because we do a variety of sports and movies. How hard is it to implement that you could do an aspect ratio, or when we get the movies with the big black bars, I'll just be less technical. How hard is it to make it where we could zoom the black bars out even minimally, not all the way, but just enough to where, you know, like a 1.2 zoom is what Apple TV used to do on their little device, like what a video processor does.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. There are so many different aspect ratio, because I'm talking just the 235:1, but there is only one. There is a 2.4, it is 2.0, 2.1, you know.
Really nice. I'm excited to try that. I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Well, you've been hard at work, Domenico. You know, you might be able to answer this. How long does it take to design and bring to market a new product?
Yeah. To give you an idea, maybe I forget some models, but in SIM2 history, we produce more than 800 different models. 800. Wow. 800. So yeah, sometimes they were very similar one to the other, you know, so we changed it just a little bit. But sometimes they were real, let me say, not evolution, but revolutions in respect to the previous one now. Okay. designing a brand new projector requires more than 1 year. Designing a projector that comes from another one could be a design of 6-8 months, kind of. Yeah, these are the times. Designing the C3X required about 1.5 years.
I'd like to say hello to Massimo
Okay.
and Mr. Cini. Mr. Cini is the owner and CEO of SIM2. And Mr. Cini is a videophile. He wants perfection. And he made a promise years ago that he would never take any shortcuts. He would always design the very best. And I think he's met his goal. SIM2 has delivered top of the line performance over several decades. And
Yes.
The company has a lot to be proud of.
I can say that we are continuing to do that.
Yes.
Also, this projector is in the line of this path. Yeah. It is not, also this projector is something very challenging in terms of technology. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe after Joe and I spend some time with this projector, we can invite you back in case we have any questions. We can have a part 2.
Perfect.
Okay. Good. Yeah, for me it's okay.
Domenico, do you have anything else you want to say before we end this podcast?
In my opinion, this is more suitable for making a duo because the stability of this projector is much higher than the previous one. The previous was based on 3-chip projectors. So at the end, there were 6 chips at the end. All of them had to be aligned on the screen,
Good
But
point.
here, in case of 2 Ultra Nero 4, one upon the other, there are only 2 DMDs, one upon the other. First, and second, the precision of this lens is very high.
That could be a dangerous combination.
Yeah.
Well, Domenico, I just want to say thank you for coming on. We appreciate you for popping by our program,
Okay.
and we enjoyed interviewing you. And we're very, very, very excited to see the Ultra Nero.
Thank you guys to give me the opportunity to speak about this product.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.